loading. Oh, hey, it says now we're live.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I don't see myself again.
Hello.
Hey everybody.
Okay, so
Is there something going on? Does the spirits don't want us to do this show?
I know, right? Oh, okay, I
Ram,
added
because
my
everything
personal
is
account and it's like
happening.
not there.
Uh-oh.
Nothing's happening. This is
Yeah, I don't.
crazy. This
I'm
is
like,
crazy. I can see you
you can see me where?
on the screen. Like I can see all three of us. Why nothing's
Okay, it's
happening?
live on. Oh, it says Facebook Live and it shows that I am live.
See there, you're in.
But it doesn't show me live on my personal thing. Anyways, who cares, right?
Well, anyways, who cares? Yeah, we don't
Look,
care.
like my Coco shirt.
Yeah.
El alebrije.
Alicia.
Did you see that movie Coco? Did you see it, Lorna?
Yeah.
Coco?
I didn't. I was kind of at my boyfriend's. I watched part of it
Oh,
and
no
we
bueno.
fell asleep. It was bad. We fell asleep. I still have to go back and watch it.
Mm,
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it looked
I
like it
liked
was,
it.
but I did see of it. And I don't know what his problem is. He says he still doesn't get it. He doesn't, I don't know. He's so into his Bible dogma. It's so funny. He's like, ooh, isn't it like worshiping, you know, Halloween and the devil? And I'm like, no.
no,
Dia de los
no. I
Muertos.
even have my little hat. I did a hat for the day of myself. See?
That's
A little hat.
interesting that people actually believe that it's like
Yeah, I know.
worshiping
I'm just like,
something
where did
like
you get
that.
this from? Because that's not what it's about.
It's just about honoring our loved ones.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanking them and acknowledging the fact that we wouldn't be here if they hadn't walked before us,
Mm-hmm.
and letting them know that we still love them and that we miss them.
We're here for them. Yeah.
That's
We,
pretty much it.
Yep.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like we're giving
In
honor
I
to
took
them.
a mask for it, for de la Mortis.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like
What the?
that.
Yeah, get it on straight. Anyways, I thought it was cool. I liked it. So I wore it to church when we did the last witch talk.
Ooh, how was the witch talk? I was kind of curious about what do you define a witch? Like, how do they define what's a witch?
Well, I asked them all what they thought a witch was. And we had 4 questions, and it was interesting. Um, they all felt that you have to be practicing um, to
That's
be a
what I
witch.
thought too.
Yeah, and yeah, it was good. We had 4 questions. I asked them the 4 questions, and then I let everyone ask them questions. And we had a good long talk. I thought I sent you the link. Did I not send you the link to the power?
No, you
The
did, but I haven't what should we call it?
You haven't watched it yet.
Seen it.
I haven't watched it
Watch
yet.
it.
It's pretty long, but it went. It was good. They answered a lot of questions,
It went
and
according to
I
plan.
had an interesting discussion with one of the ladies afterwards about the idea of Christian witches. Because as I was doing this research, I found out that there's people who consider themselves Christian witches, and they actually have some of them have big followings, and but they
Mm.
don't all have the same definition of themselves as a Christian witch.
With
And one of the
with
ladies afterward, as a
ignore
witch,
that. Sorry.
she was really adamant. Afterwards, her and I had a discussion, and she said, "Oh, I think it's just an oxymoron. You can't be a witch and be a Christian." It was, and I've heard that before from Wiccans. They get really they get really vehemently upset with the
But that's
idea.
what's interesting because they just said you cannot be a witch unless you practice it.
Right.
So if you're Christian and you're practicing the craft, therefore you are a witch who happens to be a
Yeah.
Christian. So that makes you. And here's the thing. Also, like, okay, so if we look a little bit back in the history of how the Western part of the craft, a lot of it is Christian influence.
Yes.
So I don't know. And it's here's what I find very interesting when it
Well,
comes
the
to
Christian influence, or did Christianity hijack all the pagan stuff and turn it into Christian
well,
stuff?
what if
You know, chicken
okay,
and
so
the
we're
egg.
so reading a lot of the stuff with when it comes to like the Magus and stuff like that, a lot of it comes from the Kabbalah. And the Christians write Kabbalah with a C.
Hmm.
So they basically appropriate a lot of the Kabbalah stuff and it kind of rolled over into a lot of the craft of the Western world.
Hmm.
You know, like the rituals and stuff like that. Because I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Pagans feel that Christians usurped their ancient religious practices and beliefs.
Yeah, because if you look at like at the Santeros and the Palos and all those traditions, they use the Christian saints. You know, I mean, they
Hmm.
don't pray to the Christian saints, but that's how they disguise their African gods because of, you know, the
That
persecution
was
that
what
was going on in this world.
That's what I understood was that a lot of those what do you call them, the Mesoamerican practices, they
Yeah.
adopted blood of the saints and stuff so they could like still practice their beliefs, their ancient religions and practices, and could put the veil of the church over it so that they could still do it. um, yeah, that's what I got out of doing the research. But the pagans feel like over in Europe that the Christians like hijacked all of their beliefs.
Well,
And
yeah, the Christians hijacked everything. That's why
yeah,
when I was looking at I was reading a couple of Kabbalistic things, and they all say the Christians appropriated the Kabbalah to
yeah.
their likings.
Well, my understanding is that the Quran um, and the what's the Jewish book? It was the Torah. They feel that my understanding is that the Jews feel that the book, the Christian Bible, and the Quran were like derived from the Torah, and they call them the three religions from the one book. That those three religions
Oh yeah,
branch.
the Old Testament,
Yeah.
and depending, I think it ends somewhere after King Solomon. Depending on, I think it ends somewhere around there, and
Hmm.
then you have one story that leads to Christianity, and the other stories lead to somewhere else. But it's all the same when it comes to the Old Testament until it gets to a certain point. Then everybody just takes off in their own road.
Right.
You know. Yeah, and some of these religions don't get along. First of all, because one of the beliefs is that no man should die for another man. You are accountable for your own sins. In Christianity, it's kind of the other way.
Hmm.
Somebody die for your sins. So it's kind of like a free card. Do whatever you want, and you're free to go. Somebody died for you already.
That's funny.
But I kind of do like the other perspective. You know, you should be accountable for the things you do.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah.
but it's all at their convenience.
Here's the link for this one.
Well, it's all religion. Religions are man-made, so
Yeah.
the
That's why
beliefs.
I don't believe in a religion.
But what constitutes a religion?
Yeah, that gets to be a big debate.
You know,
I just, yeah.
because if we look at it, it's like, how do you know that's a religion versus a sect and a cult?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 You know, and I was talking to Julio about that there's actually a criteria that you have to fulfill in order for you to become a religion. If you don't fulfill that criteria, you just become a sect. Or no, I think it's more of a sect than a cult. I think a cult is it's attached to the religion, like the Jehovah Witness is considered a cult, or the
Yes.
Mormons, or
People
because
consider
those
Mormon.
are
But
yeah,
if
those are
you
derived from Christianity.
people know, they will become quite livid with you because they think they're legit and everybody else is false.
Oh, it's like me on Pumpkin Festival. Some guy
Yeah.
was like following me all over the Pumpkin Festival about the devil and how evil this is. I don't know what I said to this guy that he just got quiet, and I didn't see them for the rest of the festival. It's like I questioned his belief.
Oh,
I was like, what if, I said, think about this. What if at the end of the day, you discover that this whole religion thing is not even real? Like, what would
Yeah.
you do? How are, like, he's like, oh no, religion. I was like, religion's to control man. He's like, no, religion gives you freedom. I was like, look at yourself right now. You're trying to convince people that your religion's the right one. You are being controlled
Yeah.
by your religion. He's like, oh. No. I was like, think about that. You're trying to put your ideas into children here who are here eating pumpkin stuff. I'm like, leave them alone. And some lady did go after him. It's like, can you get out of here? Because she was selling a bunch of toddler things.
little kids. Oh my God, that's just not right.
That's crazy.
I was like, and then he started like saying all these Bible verses. I'm like, it's like, please, I read the entire thing.
But there's people like that they get too, I don't know, they get too attached to that religion, and it's like it's crazy.
But they don't read the entire passage.
Yeah, they don't.
And then they want you to they want you to convert like with them, like, so, you know.
They start basing their own identity and their worth in whether or not they can convert people. Because
Oh, Tiffany says
Yeah.
hi. I guess I can now.
Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany's in the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, she texted me.
there you go. There she is. I guess I can now.
Hey.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I can add comments. If somebody writes a comment somewhere, I can actually import it in here.
Haven't seen her in a while.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah,
it?
it's.
Roji? Who's this?
Oh, that's my friend. Probably that's my friend Juan.
Juan. Okay, let me
He uses-
turn this. Let me make Lorna small, and let me add Juan. Gee, thanks, Julio. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. He's gonna be my guest number 3.
we're gonna.
She's like
Yeah,
if I'm really like that quick with things.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Hello. Hey Juan, how are
What?
you?
who's this? Is this one? Okay,
Hello.
there we go. Hey there. How are you?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
We're good. We're just chatting here like always. So you still have that haunting going on, or did it stop, or?
No, it's still there, but it's different now from the last time I told you. Something happened like 2 days ago, which was really weird. It was me and my mom who felt it. It was really weird. But-
Oh, what happened?
I
was
went
the scoop?
outside towards the back, and I don't know. It was like this. It felt like I was being watched. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I thought it was just. I don't know, the air or something. I don't know. And I was in the backyard, anyways, and there was nothing there, and I felt it. I just felt this energy where it was looking at me, And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And I said it really loud. I'm like, well, this is interesting. And I got something from the fridge that we have in the back. And I got it. And I closed the door to the refrigerator. And I turned back around. And I felt it like close to me, close to my face. I'm like, ooh, this is very weird. I'm like, ooh, it's very chilly here. I'm like, I don't pay attention to them. I don't give them acknowledgement. And I went into the house and I felt it right behind me. I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. I'm like, I wonder what this is. I'm like, I wonder who called you over. I'm like, this is very interesting. And so it just disappeared all of a sudden. And I came into the house. I was already in the house. I was going to go to the kitchen and my mom called me and she's like, hey, did you feel something? I'm like, yeah, this is very interesting what's going on. She's like, yeah, I felt it in the room and I felt it outside and I felt it in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, I'm like, well, did you do that? Did you guys feel it today or was it another day? She's like, no, I felt it outside today and yesterday it was in the bathroom. And then I'm like, okay, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, it's really weird. I'm like, whatever is going on with someone else, it's like they're calling it, but this is intentional stuff. I'm like, yeah, so yeah, this is really weird. So I'm like, okay, but now they're coming in towards the house and into my room now, which was never something that was able to do. I'm like, okay, this is weird now because now they're crossing the barrier that I have in my room where they can't come in. Now they're in here, and this is like the most interesting type of stuff I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm like, I have never even read about it. So yeah.
Well,
So,
my opinion
did you
on
set
that.
up a ritual barrier for your room?
I'm sorry?
Did you set up a ritual barrier for your room, a protective?
No, it was never a ritual. It's just, how can I say it? It's just releasing energy into the room to give it all this mixed energy feeling. That way, I don't know, it's more like, how can I put it? It's a kind of, it's like a camouflage to
Oh,
just hide a person. Yeah, this is very different. This is
yeah.
different from what you guys ever read about. So it just, you just release all this energy and it's different. If you were to come into the room and this type of stuff, it would feel like you were in a schizophrenic person's mind. That's how it feels. So you would never go ahead.
Um, I just I was just wondering if you ever declared your room as your domain that you have
It
total.
is my domain. That's so nothing can come in through here. So since I did that a long time ago, I'm like nothing's been able to come in here at all. I
Hmm.
mean, it's been good. It just happened all of a sudden out of some stuff that happened with one of my siblings, and so I don't know what they're doing on the other side. Um, and it has nothing to do with me at all. So I'm just caught between the middle
Hmm.
and me having to feel everything that's going on. But yeah. So this is very interesting because some of it I've read about it, other things I haven't. So, and yeah, this is interesting. I'm not scared of it. I just find it very interesting that a lot of the things that are happening, I'm like, you wouldn't think it can happen. You know, certain barriers can't be broken, but here they are crossing them.
Well, okay, well, my thing on that is like, for me to get involved in the spiritual world is like opening a shop. So you don't know what you're gonna get. Some days you get good customers, some days you get bad customers. You don't know if somebody's gonna come with an assault and just,
Hmm.
you know. So I think opening to the spiritual world is almost like opening a shop because you're opening up to the spirit world. So you know, it's keeping protected, but doesn't mean you. That's just my opinion on that because I hear people once they start opening a little too much, they start getting all these weird experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my niece, she's totally not into this, but then she started talking more about spirits. She started to get a poltergeist in her house. And she's like, but I'm not into that. You know, that's your thing, uncle. That's your everything. Why is it happening to me? I was like, were you planning to talk to someone? It's like, no. She was talking to her boyfriend about his grandma that passed away. And he was like, well, maybe I hope she gives me a sign. I hope this. And then all of a sudden, things are going bump in the night, you know? Things are being moved around. And I was like, just keep an eye on it because spirits can play influences on people. And I've seen that happen. There was this lady that we used to live all of us together. And when she started to actually do a little brujeria, her boyfriend started to walk her sleepwalking. Like a few days after she started doing brujeria, he almost dropped a sewing machine on her.
Yeah.
So spirits can do some influence on people to hurt others. They don't precisely do it directly, but they can figure out how to do it. So I really don't know what's going on in your case.
Yeah,
You know?
well, like I told you, I'm like I did practice witchcraft, and that was a long time ago, and I've stopped. But I already know about all that stuff. I'm like that's things that I've read about, things that I've known about, things that were always mentioned. That stuff, it's all there. I'm like, yeah, that stuff happens all the time. There's no saying that it doesn't happen. It does. I'm like, once you start acknowledging, once you start talking about it, once you invite things in, that's always
And
true.
everybody wants to come to the party.
Yeah. Everyone, once you open up, and then that one person just becomes a magnet to them. So that's understandable. On this case, this happened because of something that my brother did to another brother, and something else.
All right.
Um, I
kind of
do you remember
kind of
that?
I'm seeing what's going on right now. They are okay. The other brother, we talked. I know what's going on and all that fun stuff. But your brother's so angry right now.
Oh, I know he is.
I can feel that coldness because it's cold right here where I'm at right now. He's really mad, and he's doing whatever he can do to get back to the brother that's at home. And I think it's going so bad that he's doing kind of la brujeria.
Mm.
He's trying to bring justice, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and he's trying whatever he can to kind of scare you guys or scare that your brother to give up. And it's going to get, like I told you, like, you know, I've been telling you, it's going to be attacking. It's going to continue attacking. And it's going to get worse, sir. And the weakest one might get hurt faster. And I told you, like, the one that's more weaker that I feel is a little bit weaker more than you is their mom. And yeah,
So is this Are you connected to spirit, Julio?
I'm seeing a lot of things.
All I see is a shadow. I feel like it's a shadow, and I feel like it's been attached to you for quite some time. It feels like it's been maybe about 2 or 3 months, and it's becoming a little bit more attached. It's almost like you have a haunting.
It's
It feels kind of like that because all I keep seeing is a shadow. I see him running through the walls, and usually when it's a loved one or someone in spirit that is not resting, it feels a little. I can
Yeah,
feel
they're-
that they
they're-
were alive once, and this thing does not feel like they've been alive before.
Hmm.
no.
It doesn't feel?
The brother.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it was
the
alive
butler is-
before.
It's really
It-
pointing
it-
to
it- It's
the.
it's
yeah,
not.
pointing to the
It
dark side.
it wasn't. It's never been alive. It's not a part of this realm
Yeah.
where we're at
No.
right now.
This seems like a black shadow.
Yeah.
I don't feel
Do you
like it's
remember?
the brother. I don't think your brother has any connection this and that because it almost feels like the brother. If somebody passed away, like a family member, it feels like they might have been cleansed.
No.
But whatever's attached to you, it almost feels like it's something that. It feels like it might have been something from 6-7 years ago, but it kind of resurfaced about 3 months ago, and it's starting to almost come back. Let me see if I can connect. But it does feel. I feel the shadow presence, and I don't like that feeling because it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, that was really a really bad.
I know.
negative-
I know who it is. I've already spoken to it, and
Yeah.
it was that one shadow that you talked with, that you saw. I was able to connect to it that same day that we talked on the phone. I don't think if you remember that day. You had seen it in the room. You had described my room to a T. No one's been able to do that at all. With that information, I was able to connect to it. I know who it is. But yeah, this one's attached to me because it wants justice. It does. It was sent here and it wants justice. And I had to get the guards down I had to let down barriers from the house because after I knew something was here, I had to protect the house. It was pretty good barriers, I think. But it was trapped in the room. I had to trap it. After that, a little while ago, I had to release it because it wanted just justice. It wasn't sent by my brother. That's right. It wasn't. It was called from something else. It wants justice. That's what it wants.
Yeah.
Maybe you can try LBRP. You know, the one of the lesser banishing rituals. I don't know. I mean, I do that when I'm gonna do spirit work, but that's about it. You know.
This is something really stronger, very stronger, and it's not. It once until it gets justice, it's gonna go away.
You can always try to work
And
with
if-
one of the dark goddesses or one of the dark gods to use their.
If you
Yeah,
hear
their
a lot
help.
of rumbling, it's like I have like a protective rock on my hand, and it's just moving like crazy. So. Yeah, hon, it's just
Any
it's gonna get-
input, Lorna?
Hey, this is all new to me.
That's one of the things I was talking about.
You know
The
me, I
spirit
try to
world.
keep the dark stuff away.
Yeah,
But that's the thing. You
Well-
can't be light if you can't acknowledge the dark.
Oh, I know, I
Yeah.
know.
yeah.
But that's about all I'll do is go, okay, I feel you, I
Yeah,
see. But I'm not interested in engaging, so please leave.
See, I don't engage. I don't engage in it. I acknowledge it because I can feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
about
if
it.
it's not for me, like whatever this feeling is, but it's for Juan, and I feel it, then I tell them, hey, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm sensing. And sometimes after I do that, it kind of goes away. It almost like they come so they can deliver a message, or they kind of want to say, hey, you know what? Let them know that what they're feeling, it's real. And then they kind of go away. It's kind of like mediumship. You know, when you give someone a reading, hey, you know, your mother says, you know, that one time you felt that brush against your right or left arm, or that tap on your head, it's your mother. She says she loves you, blah, blah, blah. It's to kind of validate for them.
Yeah. I do
And
have
some
a question
spirits
for
do
Juan.
that.
I do have a question for Juan. Do you want this thing to get the justice that it's after? Do you
I'm
want
sorry?
do you want this shadow to get the justice that it's after?
Well, it's not the shadow that wants justice. It's whoever sent it over here. And I know who it is. But yes, that's why I lowered down the barriers that I had, because it has to be done. That's the thing. It wants justice. The person that sent it forth wants justice. You
Mhm.
can't deny a person justice at all. You do, then it just keeps building up, and in the end, you know, you'll get it no matter what. So it wants justice, and I can't deny it that. So yeah, it needs to go through. That's why I lowered down the barriers. That's why I stopped protecting the house. I
That's what I
did
was
everything
picking
I
up.
could. What
That's
was
what I
that?
was that's what I was picking up on, that that you didn't want it to like leave just yet, but that you wanted to
No,
let it do what it needed to do. I don't
no,
really
definitely.
understand what was going on with that, but you know, that's your choice, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Greg, what happened?
Sorry. Yeah, I kind of muted myself. No, I said, Julio,
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
you've been shuffling your cards, so let's see what the cards advise.
That's a good idea.
Oh,
You, Julio, pull out your cards
oh,
and
me? I picked up.
see what your cards advise, or how this situation should be dealt with love and light. You know, I butt heads with love and light people.
I believe
Well,
in love.
I'm not totally a love and light people person, but I'm a chicken when it comes to the dark.
No, I think this
Okay.
love and light people, they're like, if you say something negative, they're like, I don't want to hear it. I'm like,
No, I'm not
all
like
Yeah.
I'm
that.
saying is, you know, you might want to change the way this. Like, on my job, somebody came in with a love and light, and I said, you know what? We have a situation with this person. Oh, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, so how do you expect to correct it
Ridiculous.
if you don't want to hear it? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, no, no, love and light, and they're
Oh,
constantly
that's
saging
garbage.
everything.
That's garbage. That's not reality.
Now that I left that
Yeah.
place, all I've been hearing is that place is falling apart. I was like, there you go. It's love and light with a lot of discord.
Yeah, you have
All
to
right,
do it.
Julio.
Go for it. Well, the first two cards that I got, they're just telling me two things. Yeah, the problems are not gonna get good yet. They're gonna get worse, and I know why. And you and I know why. They're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get worse. So it's just for you to put it aside. Just don't get involved. I've told you that before. The only thing is, like I've told you about your mom, is like that's the more that they might try to attack more. and but sooner or later it's gonna come out, and it's gonna be not a good thing, but the sun will come out for you guys. All that stuff will stop sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it time, and it's is it going to stop? Not really. It's not going to stop right now. I give it a month or two more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I pull out my cards, which is the Strength card and the Magician reverse. And to me, the Strength tells me that it almost feels with these cards together, it almost feels like you're ready to take on whatever. It's kind of like, what, bring it on sort of situation. But the Magician kind of tells me that there's also some of the things that you are required or that you feel like you could do to prevent it from getting out of hand. It's like you're not fully prepared for that, or you're not prepared to do that spiritual warfare, if that makes any sense. You could have lost practice, or you could probably might need to learn new techniques. Because the Magician reverse, it says, if you really want to get into this, you kind of have to know what you're getting yourself into. Like you said, if this is something that has been sent to you, find out with what intent it has been sent to you with.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm trying to feel into the energy, but it's just doesn't. Well, I do hear and feel and sense that there's been tears, there's been crying. It can kind of get to you emotionally, and it feels like when working with certain types of spirits, it's like you can't lose control of them. So you have to be really intact with your emotions and be able to control those. But it almost feels like this thing can manipulate some of the energies around you to control your emotions, because I constantly feel tears, I feel the crying, I feel the frustration, and it's almost like you have to shut down. It's like you have to shut everything down in order for you to proceed. But this whatever this thing is can really get to you emotionally. I keep hearing the name Baal, Baal, and I know that's one of the demons. So I don't know why. She feels powerful. I don't know if this is someone you can work with, or like I said, I just feel that there's some connection of working with one of the dark gods or goddesses to help you with this. So, I mean, I hope that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Or did Juan froze?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
As you were reading that, Greg, I got a confirmation that yes, look at the intention.
I don't know why I keep getting this feeling and this impression of you kind of have to work with one of the dark goddesses. I tried working with one of them, but they like to break you down before they can reconstruct you, and I don't like that. I'm not ready to have a meltdown in the middle of, nowhere.
We lost Julio.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It just went blank.
You're back.
With me?
No, with Julio. Oh, see, there it goes. Julio keeps going blank. Stop touching your computer, Julio.
I'm not touching my computer.
Yeah. Questions, comments, concerns?
I do. Give me a second.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm typing and I'm like multitasking right now as well. Something else popped up. Okay. Have another concern. Whose phone is that?
Not mine.
Okay.
Mine.
Not mine.
Okay. I think it was a week and a half ago. And I told this to Julio. I think it was a week and a half, right, Julio? Hecate appeared to me.
Yeah.
And this is another thing that happened. This is with someone. I'm like, I know who she is. I worked with her, but it was in relations to something else. She showed me Crossroads, and it was with another person that, if you remember, Greg, I had talked to you about this in the last time we spoke. Huh?
Refresh my memory.
It was about an ex-friend that I had.
Oh, yes.
This time she appeared and she was showing me all these different crossroads. And I'm like, okay, what is it that you need me to do? And she was just showing me these crossroads. And I'm like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand what she was trying to show me. I connected to her in my dreams. We actually got to talk. And she was showing me that I was going to be bumping into this person more and more as I went on along my life. But I don't understand. I'm like, I don't understand. I'm like, I know that every person crosses paths with that one person that they don't speak with anymore or that they didn't get along with. And I don't know why she was showing me this. I don't understand it. I'm like, that's like one of the weirdest things.
What is that?
I don't know.
That is like really creepy, whatever that is.
It is.
Are you sure it's not you, Julio? Because you're always doing something back
No,
there.
I'm not moving nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
My phone is off, so mine is completely off, so it's not mine.
Spirits.
It's not.
Spirits. Gotta love them spirits.
Yes. Tell you, man.
Crossroads, my understanding of Crossroads is about choices. You're going to have to make a choice.
That's true.
That's what I got when you kept saying you kept seeing Crossroads. It's like you need to think about your choice, and you're going to have to make a choice. What's with that?
Who is that? For real? That was
Okay, I'm
weird.
gonna pay attention to the monitor here to see who's making that noise. That's your computer, Julio.
No.
Yes, because that's a Windows computer. Lorna has a Chromebook. Juan is on his. Are you on your computer?
Phone.
Phone.
No, it's on a phone.
He's on a phone. I'm on a MacBook, and you're the only one who's on a Windows, and that's a Windows sound.
Pero como
Well, I
casi
just
no,
closed
porque
down tabs on my computer, um, but it wasn't ringing. I don't have any phones connected to it.
I don't
I don't know
either.
what the thing was.
I don't know. No, but that sounded like somebody's phone was actually ringing, and I
Yeah,
That's
don't
what I was.
have any missed calls. I mean, you would have known if it was me. Us.
there it comes.
Whose is that?
I don't know. And I do have Julio muted. I have Julio's computer muted because it wasn't working, so I have him connected through the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I have nothing else up. I turned everything off.
I think
So
we're spending more time here trying to figure out what is going on. Spirits.
It's the spirit world. They want to communicate. They want to get a reading.
What would they need a reading though?
yeah,
Well, maybe they want
yeah,
to know if they should
it's
come
back
and hunt
into the ball.
somebody.
It's like, why would they need a reading? They know. They know it all. I'm kidding. They don't know it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't believe that. Don't believe that. They don't know it all.
No, but they can go ask.
Some of them don't know if they're dead or not. There it goes again.
Gosh, there it goes again.
I don't know what it is, you know. No, but here's an interesting thing that I told people, like when we cross over, we do keep our part of our personality with us when we go on the other side. And I always say, if Uncle Bob was a gambler and you're asking Uncle Bob about a finance advice, you might
Oh
not
yeah,
want to take that. And I always say that. I always say that. You know, and people are like, "Oh no, but they told me this, they told me that." I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's just personal experience." You know. You know.
Also, it's are they a resolved spirit or is it just a ghost you're talking to? It's a big difference. It's
I think it's I can. The only reason I can tell the difference is because a spirit, someone that has like crossed over into the light, their
Mhm.
vibration is a little bit more loving. Oh.
It sure sounds like your computer, Greg. Your phone.
No, my phone's like
does.
over here.
It's really loud.
It is.
Yeah.
You don't have any kind of um what do you call it? Where you get calls on your computer hooked up? Because I don't have that.
I mean, I have that, but I only have it because I'm calling Julio. Unless I have an incoming call that I don't know about.
Well, wait a second. Tiffany
I
Kahlo,
don't.
yes, I can now. Hey, I still can't see your Facebook page, Facebook user. Hi, everyone. Is that Tiffany trying to call in?
No,
Only Tiffany.
no, I get an interruption in my screen, and it says user logged in, but it won't ring. It just gives me a notification. That's it. So where was I with the spirits? I kind of forgot. Oh no, because there is a shift in energy because they can actually.
It doesn't want you to talk about the shift of energy.
Maybe it's a prankster who doesn't want us to know the difference.
I don't know. I guess I have to keep it a secret. I can't tell anybody. I have to keep it a secret now.
What I was taught is that someone I was following said that if you ask it a question and it answers you, it's a ghost. And I thought, well, wait a second. If you're talking to spirit and you're a medium, they're gonna answer you because you're a medium.
Well,
I don't know.
here's one of the things I did learn in Arthur Findlay is like there are two types of chatting with the spirit. There's the psychometrizing of the spirit, which is no chat at all. It's just reading energy, and there's the actual conversation with the spirit.
I think that it's them trying to communicate with you.
I was like, every time I start talking, it starts ringing.
Every
Don't
time you
talk
try
there.
to teach something, it starts ringing. What is that?
It's not you. It's not
I guess I'm gonna have to talk really fast. Okay, take a deep breath and let it all out. Okay, so let me see.
It is
Not here. Not here. Okay, so are you ready for another ring? So all spirits can talk if you're connected to them. That's why when I connect to spirit, that's the first thing I do. I test. It's nobody. It's literally nobody. I don't see anybody's here. Nobody's audio moves.
This is so weird.
Greg, maybe that's the new way they want to connect with you. That's how they
It's
bring
totally
the attention
weird.
to you.
I think he's gone.
Okay, so. Okay. No, when I test spirits, I always ask them a question. And if they don't reply, that means I'm psychometrizing the spirit. But if they do reply to the question, I am talking to the spirit.
So when you're psychometrizing them, what does that mean?
Psychometry is the art of reading energy of objects.
Okay, so you're getting that.
Information. If I connect, let's say I'm giving you a reading and I start describing your mom. And no, that's not your mom calling.
That would be interesting.
So I will be reading. I could either be talking to your mom, or I could be reading memory energy off your etheric, off your body.
Energetic signature.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So if you're thinking really thinking about your mom, I could just be reading that and not really communicating with your mom.
Got it.
So that's why practice is very important, because it can feel exactly the same.
I do think it does feel different. Like when I'm doing billets, that's imprinted kind of information. But when I'm doing the healing and I'm getting a download, it's a very different feeling. It's like
Yeah. Well, I think the download it feels a little bit different, but when you're when I feel the whole spirit thing, it's like what the heck is this? But what I feel is the thing is, I see the images. I see a movie playing. So I can't really tell the difference if this is a movie that it's being given to me or it's a movie that I'm reading off someone, like an imprint.
okay.
You know, like Juan said, oh, you can see my room to the T. Yeah, it's because I can hear his voice and I can hear the vibration and I can start picturing,
Yeah.
you know, psychometrizing him.
Mhm.
So I can picture the room, and then once I'm in there, I can try to astral project and see if there's any energies there beyond the psychometry.
Okay.
Some crazy technique.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, Julio,
What?
Okay.
are you okay?
Oh my god. Yes. No, you're making me me dio un calambre. I'm laughing, man.
Te dio un calambre.
Yes, I got a cramp for laughing a lot.
You need to eat more bananas.
I know.
The ones that have potassium, okay? Now I'm turning red.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I have met quite a few readers that are pretty talented, but they're not. I don't feel like there's a spirit when they're talking to spirit. But they start getting a lot of information. I'm like, it feels like you're doing a psychic reading, not a mediumship reading.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I was telling you, Lorna, earlier, that it's intertwined.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm serious. I don't see anybody. No, it is intertwined because the whole thing with the psychic is reading the energy. So you have to work on your psychic ability. Once you start to identify the energy, you can start identifying other types of energy.
Yeah, I think that's more of what I do. Like when I'm doing the healing, it's more of a psychic, but I get my information through the ancestors. So I always ask them, the ancestors and angels, to help me when I'm doing a healing, and that's when I get the downloads is through them.
Yeah,
So
but you use your psychic energy
yeah,
to identify their energy, your energy, and their energy.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's basically interpreting the energy. That's what basically psychic is. It's like using language.
hmm But I don't think that's what I'm using when I'm crossing souls over, or like when they're like, "What is with that phone call thing?"
What is that?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy.
It's driving everybody crazy.
Let me mute myself for a while and see if it goes away.
Okay, I can mute you. And then just let me know if you want me to pick it up. Okay. I muted everybody except Julio, you're on the phone. Let's see. I feel like I can only hear myself talk.
It is. It's you. Oh, no. Greg, what are you doing?
Okay, now. Okay, there we go. So yeah. Okay, it kind of stopped now. I'm just waiting for it to start ringing in my ears because
Yeah, me too.
since
We're like just waiting. There it goes.
there it goes. Okay, let me okay, Julio, I'm gonna hang you up and I'm gonna call you back. Maybe it's the connection that is trying to let me know.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good test.
Okay, back to Julio. Okay, Julio,
Dan,
it
too.
didn't even ring. Maybe I need to use a different browser. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Anyways.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Let's log out and ditch Julio.
So are we unmuted now?
Huh?
Are we unmuted now?
Yeah, everybody's unmuted. So yeah.
Okay. I knew
So
it was
we-
one.
Well, we
Can
have
you hear
come
me
in.
now?
It's been an hour.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah, so we actually
on.
stated within the hour, like we always talked about. You know, we had one or two viewers, which is good because we didn't advertise it.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of, you know, we kind of almost pull it out of our butts because I really didn't have anything in mind. You know,
Yeah.
Julio's been pushing me to do this again.
Yeah, it was fun.
It is fun when we have something more solid, and I think for this new season that's coming, I think I want to have more guests or more people to, interview and talk with, and kind of like we did with Juan. He talked about his spirits and the dark shadows, and I think that really brought something a little bit more different. It was creepy, I'm gonna say, and I like that. I like that. So,
Yes, you like the creepy stuff.
I love the creepy stuff. I hope I'm scared when I go to bed tonight.
Okay.
Shut up.
How
Gotta
can we
have
help you
spot
with
that.
that?
Yeah.
How can we help you with that, Greg?
No, well, Lorna, I know you have a lot of friends, and I know you know a lot of people. So if you know anybody that would like to share what they do with the world, and they're still, I mean, I'm not popular.
There it is again. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. No, no, no,
You want to
no.
get that, Greg? You want to get that, Greg?
No. No, I don't want to get that. You want to pick that up?
Gosh.
I mean, they're sound effects, but they're not here. Where are my sound effects? I do have sound effects in this. Oh, what is this? No, 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 no. Okay, what the heck did I do?
I don't know.
I don't know what I did. All my
I don't know.
controls are gone.
Oh no.
Oh,
You
well.
deleted them?
Did you hide
No,
them?
I did. I just don't know how to bring him back.
Oh my goodness.
Oh well. It's I don't know. I haven't used this software for such a long time.
It almost seems like it goes at
Telephone,
certain
Greg.
intervals, doesn't it? That phone call.
You want to pick it up?
Continue
See-
allowing. Okay. Do not block. I don't know.
So, did you want my
Just a call
definition
from
of
the
it
other side.
still, Greg?
Well, you can talk about it.
I really don't think there is. I think the idea of a witch is a big myth. That is something that was made up to
Yeah.
disenfranchise and to persecute and to, but people have bought into it now, ascribed to it as a way of having power and authority. That's what I think. People who ascribe to being a witch. I think there are
Okay,
witches,
so
but the idea of a witch, the that's misused. That's what I believe.
Yeah, and also like did we show that videos of witches that one time, like Las Brujas de
yeah, we did.
Mexico, that they were so different than the ones here because you see these women just levitating in the air, or some of them they turn into balls of fire, or
Wow.
things like that. So it's like, what is that? Is that like a nahual, a shapeshifter, or is it really a bruja? It's like, yeah, because when we come here to the U.S., we have different definitions for what witches are versus when you go somewhere else. You know?
Well, it's like that article that lady, that one that I found, and she said she interviewed 80 witches, and they were all different, and some of them labeled themselves similar labels, but they all described themselves differently, unique to the person. That these are modern day witches, and it's not like a formulary thing, um, and it's something they come to um, believe about themselves, and they fashion their magic very personally, and so their idea of what kind of witch they are is unique to them, really. They might have some similarities, and they might like a particular kind of magic that they practice. And so other people might view them with a certain label based on the magic that they like to do. But they don't necessarily agree with the label that people are putting on them. It's just very interesting to see.
I just think a witch is just a witch. I don't think there really is a white witch or a black witch because nature is both. But I think kind of like religion or Christianity, I hate to compare it to that. It has different dominations. They're all Christians, but what kind of Christian are you? Are you a
Yeah.
Protestant or are you a Mormon? Are you this? Are you that? But you're all Christians at the end of the day because you have the same similar beliefs. So I think the witches are all basically kind of all the same. It's just you have different dominations. Your coven is different versus that coven, or you practice more of a darker art than they do. But it's you kind of have to do both. If you talk, I think if you talk to a high priestess, they will talk about you have to do both. Because we have the situation that Juan is having here that it's probably a spiritual attack. And if you're all love and light, how are you going to deal with that if you don't know nothing but love and light?
Yeah.
So,
And calling on the name of Jesus, if it's a demonic type thing, that'll just bring it on more.
well, what if the demon is like, who is this Jesus? Is it the same gardener I ran into last week?
But that one that's calling you right now.
And like when I was talking to my friend Christina, it's like when she got involved in the cult, she was saying that nobody said the name of Jesus because it's Yeshua. They were saying the actual name Yeshua, and when they start praying, stuff happens. That's when it gets creepy. And I actually ran into some videos on YouTube where people were praying to Yeshua and they start talking all these testimonies of like, oh, I was trying to get my husband to convert. I was like, yeah, but he's in crutches now. He's in a wheelchair and he's now converted. It's like you pray so hard to the point that you ruin him. So I mean, the power of prayer, I think that will be a great episode to
Juan,
talk
what do you
about.
think about that?
He's just kicking back there.
Oh yeah. I'm just listening to your conversation. I think I missed a whole bunch of it, but yeah.
Ask him the question.
Jesus
Frank?
is calling.
Yeah. Ask him the question, Greg.
What question?
The question is the same. What does a witch define?
Did you hear where we were talking about the whole witches thing? Like what defines a
Yeah.
witch or...
Actually, I agree with you right there. They're all witches, no matter what type of magic they work with, no matter if it's yeah. They're all witches at the end of the day. And you're right with the denominations and stuff like that. That's also true. There's really nothing to it, and it's that same reasoning that I came in conclusion to. So yeah, you're not wrong. That's the correct one. So yeah.
Because
that's what
I've read a lot of books on witchcraft, and it all leads me basically to the same tree of life and Kabbalah and the chakras and everything. I was like, well,
Yeah.
did I just learn everything there is to know?
The the fundy dundies, the Christians who are who are always warning people that Halloween and the witches and they're out to get you and that's how devil's gonna get a hold of you through Halloween and the chakras and Reiki is gonna lead you to the devil. That's what they believe. It's so crazy.
Well, what's up with the halos and the saints?
I know.
It's a representation of how holy they are, that their aura shines golden, which is finding nirvana.
And they pray to them so that they can be given certain blessings and they have powers and
Of course, you need to talk to the secretary before you meet the CEO. Yeah, there's no more witchcraft than the Catholic Church. You pray to the saints, you pray to that saint for this, you pray to that saint for that. You pray to this virgin, you pray to that virgin for this and that. It's like, that's basically what witchcraft is. You
Yeah,
pick a
just don't.
deity and you ask them.
Just don't tell them that, because then they'll flip their lid. I already had that conversation with them too. So yeah, what they do, it's basically witchcraft. But yeah. And I don't get it. They don't get it. That's what it is. But yeah,
It's a difference of belief systems and semantics, the languaging that they use, and they want to believe their belief system, and
yeah.
yeah,
I
you
used to
can't.
work with someone who is like a hardcore Christian, and he's also a Bible teacher. And
Mhm.
he's, if we can get this ringing to stop. No, he said he's willing to come and have a conversation with us on Facebook Live or
Oh, you
YouTube
mean to
Live
do apologetic session?
about the power of prayer, and yeah, obviously he's believing in Jesus and everything, and how,
Right.
and he's pretty open minded, and he's like, he's willing to come and have a conversation about that. And
Yeah, because he wants to turn your show into an apologetic session. That's what he's
well,
here to do.
Yeah.
I did give him a homework assignment to tell me what the story of Job is really about. It's not
Job,
about patience.
the story of Job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not about patience.
No, it's not.
So, because the Christian, you ask the Christians, they're like, oh, it's about patience, the patient
No,
Job. I'm like,
no.
read it carefully, because he
It,
loses his cool at one point.
yeah. It's faith despite all that happens. That's what it's about.
So, and it's so interesting because this story, if you read it carefully, it takes place in like somewhere around Genesis, but it's being put towards the end, towards the book of the book of Revelations. So why is the story that belongs in Genesis being put at the end of the Bible? So I don't know how the Bible is built, but
Mhm.
that's an interesting observation. Why something,
That's
you
me.
know, yes.
Hmm.
Yes. And I was actually reading that the way the Bible is constructed is to keep oral tradition alive. So it has nothing to do with the forbidden apple, and Noah's Ark has nothing to do with a flood, but it has to do with
There's no.
the what is that called? With the eons. So Jesus is represented by the fish because it represents the age of Pisces. So if you start moving back on the Bible, it represents the ages and the animals they talk about. It's to keep some of those oral traditions through the Kabbalah, because the Bible is very not astronomical but astrological. So I was reading one of those Kabbalistic books that's how the Christians build the Bible based on the astrology. What do you think?
And
Easter,
numerology. And numerology. It has a lot of
yeah,
numerology in it.
yeah, and people argue, no, it's built because it's the Word of God. I'm like, it could be, but it's probably what Arthur Waite did with the tarot. He hid all the Golden Dawn secrets in the images of the tarot. So
There are
who
many
knows?
things within the Bible, within
Yeah,
scripture.
so who knows if these mystics hid all
Yes.
their secrets? Because people use the Bible to cast spells.
Hmm.
They call it the perfect book of shadows.
Never heard that one.
Yes, one of my friends, I told him, I told him about my niece having a different haunting. And he gave me all these Bible verses. Have them pray it with this, have them burn these herbs, have them get these rocks, have them clean the house this way. You clean it from right to left or left to right and counterclockwise as they pray, as they read these passages from the Bible. I'm like,
Ah,
what?
yeah, that's very much witchcraft. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
I don't know.
That's
I
a,
think that will be a great segment, Bible magic.
I wonder if I
Or-
could get some witches that came to the church to talk to do that. I know one of them wouldn't have.
Oh, if we can get this ringing to stop, definitely. No. Talk to
Yeah.
them, and they can build something, and then we can have a conversation like this, and they can, share it out with their friends. We can have callers call in to ask questions. Like, yeah,
I'll see, because they're kind of the thing that I found when I was trying to find some witches to come and talk at church is that they don't like to be public. They don't like people to see them and know that they're a witch. You know?
no, but we can do it like Julio. We could just have their witch name. There's a reason why witches have a witch name versus a real name, and have them kind of like we did with Julio, just through a phone call.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
can just put a cute little
Yeah.
phone icon, and then they can talk. And
We
I don't
actually
have the, huh?
on the witch talk. We actually had two of them. That's what they did. They just did the phone call. They didn't have a screen on. Um, one was Zoom and had no screen, and then one of
I'm
them
calling right now.
did the Zoom.
I wonder what it is. It's I don't know. I'm actually gonna go onto the Facebook of the software to see if anybody has the same issue.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, go in and watch that last interview. It went for that last witch talk. It was mostly interview. I just did like a little recap of the first two, and then I asked the four questions, and the three witches answered, and then we went right into Q&A. But it was like 2 hours worth. It was
Okay.
good.
Yeah. I think I got it, and I've been wanting to do that, but I kind of.
And they
I
addressed,
was.
I forget what it was. You would asked about something, and they did address the thing that you had asked about. I can't remember what it was, but I remember when they were, I thought, oh, Greg's going to really like that one. So, you'll know it when you see it. So,
Now I'm trying to think about what is it, because I read so much literature that like a lot of my questions I write them down and then I research them.
well, I don't remember now because it was like 2 hours of Q&A. So, there's a lot of stuff that went under the bridge. So, and Subeth had to leave early, so she didn't do the, how
1,001 questions.
Just say that. That didn't happen. So it
Yeah.
was good.
No. But you know what? I do like Subeth sometimes when she does ask, because sometimes when people say, "Oh, I have a dumb question," it actually makes your memory or your mind actually jog of an appropriate answer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and there's really no dumb question.
Right. Well,
You know.
she did ask a few questions, but sometimes when she asks questions, she'll rattle off like 4 or 6. Jill, how do you address
Oh no
that?
no no! But that's when you stop them. It's like, okay, yeah, that's enough. But some of those questions do really
Yeah.
spark something in your mind. I have gotten questions. Is like,
Yeah.
how do spirits communicate with foreign people if spirits only speak English? I'll leave it at that. But yes, I've gotten questions
Yeah.
like that. But you know what? It also represents some, like, this is why it's important to educate people. Spirit, there is a language of spirit,
Yes.
which is
there is.
the language we all speak because we're all spirits having a human
It's
experience.
very symbolic. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, it is the funniest question. It might be dumb, but some people don't know that.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Anyways, it was good tonight for, just to start up again. It's with this phone, this ringing in my ears. Hopefully I won't wake up in the middle of the night hearing this ringing.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so we'll talk during the week to prepare for the next show,
Okay.
to have something a little bit more solid. It was great to just, being thrown out there with probably one viewer.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
It was recorded, right? So you can like retitle it to something.
Yeah,
you think,
well, it's on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter.
yeah.
What
So
a,
yeah, I have a Twitter account. Might as well put it on there.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, if
So
they laid off like 3,700 people.
yeah, that
It's
that
supposed
is
to be
crazy.
now.
I think we needed to. I think we need to have a show on predictions. Like we'll use our cards, or
There's one.
we'll use our cards or meditations or whatever, and see what we can predict for 2023.
Oh gosh.
Because I remember I did do a reading back in 2019 in David's group about when things were going to be lifted, and I say towards the end, towards the beginning of 2023, COVID is going to be kind of lifted, and we're all going to be a little bit more free. We're getting to that, and it's happening already.
Yeah.
I like it when I'm right.
But I think it's going to have one last hurrah before it exits, though.
So do I, but I think we'll save that for our next show.
Okay.
So, how do I hang up? Because I closed down all my controls.